What's up, Domino community? Welcome back to the build-up of my new personal record, Dominotropolis. Today I'm starting where I left off before with this very standard wall, which looked pretty promising, but definitely had some problems, so let's have a look at that now. I found a problem with this again, just like with that purple tower over there, and that's that it's really convex. Again, it might not be super easy to see on camera from here, but like over here, this is not level at all, and I think I've figured out why. So, some of these clear dominoes are slimmer than the ones in the middle, like I said with the ones over there. But the reason why it's only for these two and not for these two towers is because I think the only ones that are slimmer are the ones that I got in 2024. So I guess it was just that batch was maybe a bit dodgy, but yeah, I mean, I was a bit confused because like these haven't had any problem standing at all, but then I didn't get any in that year, so yeah. Anyway, I have thought of a solution to this because this is getting pretty out of hand and it's meant to be like nearly as tall as this white one. And I was thinking, well, I was a bit inspired by Domino Mania with the front sort of finale structure, where I had clear dominoes around the outside and then a solid colour in the middle, which is sort of what's happened here, but I'm now going to detach the clear from the outside. So we're essentially going to have like a flat wall around here with these clear dominoes going up, and then these plasma purple ones carrying on as a 2x2 cube up all the way there. And because of this, it's probably going to end up being taller than this white one now, which wasn't quite my plan, but this is a bit of a last minute change. Okay, so progress for this tower is going pretty well. We have got it to a pretty good height and it hasn't fallen. But if we look at the side, especially here, these must be like some of the wonkiest dominoes I have ever seen. How is this standing? Because I'd gone from this shape around the outside and separated them. I thought I'd have like this zigzag shape so that it's a bit more stable. Only trouble is, I forgot that the entire thing was still leaning outwards in all directions, and it just isn't stable whatsoever. But luckily, this is the last row of them, and from here it's just this raspberry pillar going up, which I'm quite glad about, because it was pretty stressful building this bit, but anyway, let's carry on building in the dark. Okay, so that raspberry structure I was doing is now done. I'm speaking pretty quietly because no one else is actually up yet this morning. But it's been 2 days since I last spoke to you, because yesterday it was a high of 36 degrees outside. I just couldn't really face being on the floor because it was just so hot in here. Anyway, my next structure I'm going to be doing is going to be a blue octa wall. So finally a different structure to these walls I've been doing so far. And because of like the way that the outside is like quite curved, that also means that we won't have any of the unstable nonsense we just had with the last one. So yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, so I've made decent progress on this blue octa wall, but it's been hard to do a lot in the day just because of the heat, and it's been hard to feel motivated. Anyway, I don't know if I said before, but the clear dominoes are only every 4 layers on this one. And so I thought that considering it wasn't like a big section of it, you wouldn't have to have the same thing here where it's detached. But, although it's hard to see on camera, there are parts at the back where it's already leaning quite significantly. So yeah, as you can probably see, I've started detaching it around the outside here, but I really hope this lasts better than this berry structure. Okay, so this octa wall is now done, and as you might have been able to see, I've included mini dominoes on this one, which I think has made it look really cool. And the thing about this is that it's also exactly 100 of them. And the next one I'm going to be doing is an orange stabilized wall, one of the tallest structures actually, which is going to be right over here. A lot of my coming structures are around this side, which is good because it means I'll actually be able to use the fan over there again. But yeah, let's go on to it. Okay, so in the end, after building this orange structure that you're now seeing, I also ended up building a red stabilized wall to the left of it, which ended up looking pretty similar, but just ended up being shorter. Anyway, now that this time-lapse is nearly done, let's get back to recording Noah with more information. Okay, so I'm now 14 days into this project. This is just the end of day 14. And as you will have seen in the time-lapse, I finished this orange structure and nearly finished with this red one over here, but I just ran out of time slightly. So this orange one, unlike the berry one here, it wasn't leaning out at all, which definitely made it quite convenient for doing these zigzag bits around, just because it isn't, well, it's not nearly as wonky as whatever was going on over here. And then this red one, it nearly wasn't wonky, but I think partly because of the floorboards or something, on this side, I think it's still leaning in some places there, I'm not completely sure, but anyway, that, at the top here, it sort of ended up being more of a circle with the clear ones, which is interesting. Oh, and also one thing you might have noticed with the time-lapse is that when looking through for finding all of the kinetic planks and lampings and whatnot, I found a load of extra ones that I didn't know I had. So for example, over here, there were 3 purple planks that I didn't factor into the original design, and that's because I just didn't know I had them, so I sort of put them in here. Same with the black lampings here. And then there's also an extra orange plank that I put up in here. And with that, that is going to be a wrap of week 2. Stay tuned for part 3 for this behind the scenes, which is coming next Saturday. I should probably be heading to bed now because it is ridiculously late. Anyway, peace out and keep on building.